Today we need to work on head. This one to be exact. Get your mind out of the gutter. Can't take you people anywhere. His legs are done. Body's as close to done as it's going to be for a while at least. It's time to focus on the dome. I printed this on my original printer 6 years ago, and it's just been floating around ever since. So, without further ado, let's get onto the dome. I was asked recently, how do I determine what's glazing putty level versus actually Bondo filler level? And this is a good example. That would use full Bondo. The print lines on this inner part are a little on the rough side too. It will probably need Bondo. I won't know till I sand everything. And that, unfortunately, is always step one. Lightly sand everything. This is PLA, easy to sand. Not necessarily the best in the world, but it's still okay to sand. All the parts are also PLA. When I say all the parts, I mean most of the parts. Because I printed this, it's also PLA. This is the radar eye. I'm not sure if I'm going with this piece or not. This is the only piece I'm on the fence about. Because I had a little chat with the community about my dome. And most of my members think I should try and figure out how to do a Mandalorian visor for him. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet. You've seen the thumbnail, so you probably know more than I do on what I went with. It'll be a journey for both of us to see how I got there. So after a light sanding, there's just a couple spots that need a little more help. This, I don't know if you can see that, but this is just a little darker than everything else. I mean, sandpaper didn't get it, or we didn't sand to that point. Everything should be about a uniform texture. And I can feel, like right here is real rough still. There's a lot of texture here. I want this, the top is very nice. I like the top. The top's nice and smooth, if not covered in glazing putty dust. So I'm just going to go over everything again, very lightly, probably with a putty knife, going this direct. Let me show you. So just like when we did the foot, thin coats lightly across, right? This uses way more glazing putty than mixing with acetone, but it does work a bit faster. Because the dome's curved, I can't go this way because it's curved, which is why I keep going in the same direction. And if I fill in this groove, it's real easy to take it back out. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I'm done. There's only like a quarter left. Then I'm going to give it at least 4 hours to fully cure. Then I'm going to lightly sand it again. I printed this dome ages ago, right? It's one of the first things I printed. But apparently, I printed it before I calibrated my printer. Then I printed the panel pieces after. Because they don't fit. They're just a little, you know, they don't quite fit right, because these were printed at 100%. But the new ones fit perfect. I know, right? The new ones, yeah. I printed everything again. Entertainingly. I've got 3 different sizes here, right? This one was 98. Didn't quite fit. Better than the original. This one doesn't fit at all. The one at 98, closer. Then did this one at 96. And it was just a little too loose. So in the end, I went with 97. And 97 fit beautifully. But he has been sanded and glazing puttied a few times. And that's where I think we are with the main dome primer. Gonna do a light coat, see where we're at. So it looks okay. I wouldn't say it's perfect. It looks okay. I'd say if there's a trick to what I do for finishing, to this stage, I'm not sanding. I'll go over the whole thing with steel wool. Just to see where I'm at. Because this is going to show me any flaw. So I'm going to go over the whole thing, a little bit of steel wool, and then do a second coat and see where we're at. I got all the panels reprinted. It said it was silver. I'd say that's a light gray. And it's real hard not just because that would make an amazing Imperial droid with the black and the light gray. We're gonna go with the plan. Everything comes off of this, and this is the first piece on the droid we're actually going to paint. So before we do that, I'm gonna set up my Mandalorian on the dude here. It's not going to be everything. It's just going to be the vest and the helmet. I always forget just how far back in this bin I have to go to find the upper parts. So that's the color palette. Still not sure how that is going to translate into that. I know that we're going to do the black base. So no matter what, he's going to have a black helmet or a black base. So I guess no matter what, that's what we start with. This helmet was the first piece I painted of the entire thing. It was before I decided on how much weathering I wanted to go with. Originally, I was going to go with very minimal. I have since changed my mind. The first thing I'm going to do is the Beskar, which is Krylon Fusion Metallic Dark Metal. This gets a full coat of that first. Lost a button somewhere. Not sure where. I hope it's in here, because if it's not, finding replacements is going to be kind of difficult with Joanne. We are dangerously close to getting to be able to do finishing paint on the dome. I mean, it's the base coat is done. Next step is weathering on it, but that's not the next step. I want to jump to this, and I want to make this look super pretty. I have a lot of sanding left to do, because all the panel pieces need a light sanding and then a priming to see where we're at. And I don't want to put dust in the air for this guy. And it's hard to not just want to jump to this, right? Gotta do the leg work first. This gold. This is red. This is the only red. These may be the base Beskar, and the dome itself is going to be weathered black. I think that's what we're going with. Sorry, it's early. All the panel pieces have now been painted, and it is time to weather the dome. This is the base coat. There's going to be silver highlights everywhere, but that's going to be done after this next step. That's easier to do last. Well, second to last, because we still have to do washes and whatnot, but that's going to be done all at once. So that's just the base level of weathering. At this point, the thing gets painted a satin black, which I'm using just Rust-Oleum satin black. But I want to make all of everywhere that's got an edge or would have taken damage or been hit, I want to have highlights of silver or this Beskar to shine through. Easiest way I have found to do that is with toothpaste. Right? I know. They make masking fluid. Masking fluid smells. Right? And it's relatively expensive. Toothpaste is dirt cheap and does an amazing job, and it just washes right off. I don't have to worry about weird chemicals or nuts. It's just toothpaste. Toothpaste, not tooth gel. I found paste works better. So this weathering. Everywhere that has a ridge or an edge will take weathering. Anywhere that has a recess is usually darkened. That's a good rule of thumb. The front will take way more damage than the back. I'm trying to tell a story with my weathering. If I want to make scratches, I can just grab a toothpick or popsicle stick in this case. And I'm not trying to highlight every edge, because there's certain spots where the paint should shine through. Anywhere that would have movement or weathering, anywhere I want this metal to shine through, we put on a light bit of toothpaste. And also, anywhere that there is toothpaste, the paint will not stick. So if you're like, oh, I didn't expect that, no. It's not easy to feather. But then again, this is chipped paint. It shouldn't look feathered. This is a vent. I want it to look like it has vented. Any panel that I think would open and close, wherever it would close, not the hinge side, the other side, there'd also be wear. So along the top of these pie panels, I'm probably going to put a little bit. Make it look like they've been opened and closed a lot. Again, real easy to overdo it. But if you're going for overdone, knock yourself out. Whatever story you want to tell should be the story that you're going to tell. I like the randomness that just... I used to use a sponge. Sponge didn't work as well as I would hoped. This needs a couple hours to dry. We're going to do the same thing to the red, but the color that's going over this is a metal cast colored clear. And I want it to look like it looked like this once, and all of the edges have worn down. So I still want a lot of the flat surface to have that sheen, but I want all the corners to be worn off. And then I'm going to come in with a very fine point silver and highlight a couple areas, add a couple of scratches here and there. So again, same thing, a little bit of toothpaste on all of these sharp edges here. Nothing in the recess, nothing in the recesses, but maybe along the edges. Oh, I've not done this technique with this paint, so this could go just horribly, in which case we'll sand it down, paint it red, and figure out what we're doing from there. So the colored clear dries much faster than real paint. So I got to go in and wash all of that off. And it worked exactly as I'd hoped. I'm going to take a silver paint marker, not a Sharpie, paint marker, and highlight all of these edges we just made. So now I'm just following the contour of whatever scratch I've made. If I've got a large area, I'll fill in a little more than normal. If I have a small area like these little scratches, I'm basically just trying to justify why the paint wore off in these areas. And again, this is just going to be a small part of the entire droid. A small part of the whole story. It's not bad. Very believable. I'm going to keep doing this. I could do this for hours. You don't need to see that. A bit shinier than I wanted. So I'm going to go over the whole thing very lightly with steel wool just to knock the shine down a touch. I don't even know if you can see the difference. Steel wool, not steel wool. In person, there's a huge difference. And I'm going to leave some spots kind of shiny just for contrast and texture. And then we're going to go over everything with the paint marker. Just like we did with the radar eye. You can always add more scratches if I want more scratches. I think we're in a good place right now, because I think we're at the point of adhering things to other things. And I'm probably going to do something a little non-conventional. And no big surprise. I'm going to use hot glue. So all of these panels recess very neatly into this thing, right? And from what I've learned with the body, I want everything to be adjustable. So we are going to hot glue most of these panels in place. That way, if I do later on down the road want to make them open and do other stuff, I take the hot glue off, I peel it off, it's replaceable. I know some people are going to be upset because, you know, hot glue is not the best glue in the world to use. It's not. But if this thing gets warm enough that it melts my hot glue, I'm more worried about my PLA than anything else. So with the base coat on this silver, I can just rub with steel wool this layer off if I want and still have more of that darker gray showing through. So just because he's done doesn't mean he's done. I also tried adding some more gold on the edges here. Not noticeable. It's not worth it. I was hoping maybe I could get some weathering on that too, but that's going to be more than strong enough to hold this in place. This one's got a bit of a wave to it. It warped a little bit while printing. But I think we should be able to do it in place. This is the nice thing about hot glue. It doesn't take long for it to do its thing. Now these guys are a weird use case scenario. These are flat and they need a curve to them, so I can only glue on the top and the bottom. It is what it is, but I wish. I didn't model the dome. I only modeled parts of the dome. And this hollow projector is the whole reason I'm hot gluing instead of actual adhesive gluing. I've seen enough children grab these things and twist, and if I glued everything in place and had to pry it all apart to take this emitter out and put the new one in, oh, I would be very upset. Now I'm trying to decide what to do about this guy. It's the only guy that I wouldn't mind fully gluing in place. I can go wherever I want. So it's not like, you know, if it pops off, I'll outline it and scratch off the paint and then glue it. But until then, I think the dome is done. And I know done is such a misnomer. He's not even close to done. But for today he is. They look like a pair. A set. I should bring him down. I need a table that's like this tall. I think it's like this tall. I may have something that's about this tall. Let me see what I can do. There he is. The first part of the paint job is done. And I know done is in air quotes, right? There's lenses that need to be cut and put everywhere. There's little detail bits that need to go in pieces. The bulk of him is done. It's all little detail stuff. Don't want to sweat the details, but I mean, look. Oh my goodness, I love this guy. I cut a couple of lenses. There it goes. Put them in. You know, I'm going to sit here for days with a little paintbrush, putting streaks everywhere. A lot of the recess, all the dirt that gets added to them hasn't been added yet, because I'm going to give the entire thing a wash. That's going to all be, I want it all to look consistent. But as far as today goes, he is done. And I am just ecstatic with this guy. Like I said, doing more work later. You want to see how he comes out completely. Think about, you know, sticking around. That's my Mandalorian. He hasn't been out in a while. I think he's getting his own playlist, and he's going to have his own, he already has his own playlist. It's going to be probably right about here. Give that a view. The whole build of him was spectacular, and I'm very happy with how he turned out. So, thanks for making it to the end. I appreciate that. And, you know, the usual stuff, like, subscribe, comment. I have channel members if you're interested. I don't if you don't. But again, making it to the end's the important part, and I appreciate that. I'll see you next time.